So I have approached publishers, and sort of they're a bit unsure. So, and this is why I want to kind of get some public feedback on it, because sort of. But the main thing I think, or what I think is a real strength of a science fiction adventure, is that you can put things in that you invent. So you've got more option for a greater variety of puzzles there, and because you're not worried about everyday stuff. You can put in cool gadgets or strange alien blobs or whatever, just to create puzzles, and you can make it fit within the world.
First of all, the first question before I forget it, as we all know, Indiana Jones met Mara Hari 1914, which we saw in the 22nd episode of the second season of Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. So do we have any references to that in the game?
Oh, well, that's a tough one, because we are, of course, no longer employed by LucasArts and not official Indiana Jones licensees, but I think you can safely assume that there'll be a lot of interesting references that both adventure players and even some Indiana Jones fans will recognize. You want to?
Well, I'm not going to promise anything. I'm sure that Mata Hari had many lovers, and I don't know if she remembers Jones all that clearly, to tell you the truth.
Okay, well, you already said it, you're most known for your Indiana Jones games, of course. If I like Indiana Jones, what would I like at Mata Hari as well? What resemblance are there?
Well, Jones is a man of action, and Mata Hari is a woman of action. So,
what means that?
Well, it means that she's an independent woman who sort of takes matters into her own hands and propels her own career forward with a lot of self-confidence. And so you're playing a kind of heroic character, and I think that those characteristics are in common with Indiana Jones.
And also, one of the things that ties them together, I think, is that with Indiana Jones, as with Mata Hari, we all know what the historical facts were about, World War II in Indy's case, and World War I with Mata Hari, but all the interesting stuff happens behind the scenes, and really a lot of the fun part is discovering what was going on that we never actually did find out about in history, and that's really common, I think, in both of those.
So Indy mostly uses his fists, if you say he's a man of action, and you told us that Mata Hari will probably use more her body. What can we expect there? Is this a mini game kind of stuff, or
definitely a different kind of action?
Yeah.
How does it work? How will it look like in the finished game?
Well, there are lots of things, but she uses womanly wiles. She has a seduction technique that she uses, and she dances, of course.
What mean you with dances? Dances more. To me, it sounds like a more mini game type of. So how does this work? So
it's hard to describe.
Is it mouse driven?
Yes.
So you don't have to.
Well, we tried very hard to cater to adventure game audiences and not make anything too intensive in terms of requiring fast reflexes, because we know that most of our audience is not really into action games that way. But I think what you'll find is both fun and appropriate. And as in the conference we just did, I don't want to scare anyone by having it seem that it's too risque. A lot of the sexuality is more implied than shown on the screen, of course.
Well, you don't need a dance pad.
Okay. That's what I would like to hear.
Want to make sure that people understand that they'll have a lot of the sort of standard puzzles that LucasArts was known for. Although we are trying hard to make this accessible and not have any of those go away for a week or have to turn to the message boards to figure out what's going on. And some of the puzzles are much more spy-like, in that she has to do things. There are some mini games with decoding machines and wiretapping technologies at the time, as well as some interesting seduction puzzles that are really a matter of learning to read other people and say the right things to them based on what they're saying to you. So pretty much like real seduction happens. And kind of things that work with Mata Hari both as a spy and also as an exotic dancer.
Well, and also, of course, there's the standard range. There's a lot of assembly puzzles and gadget puzzles, but a lot of social puzzles to go with them, and a lot of deception puzzles. There's even a feed the animal puzzle, which is required in all adventure games.
Very interesting. Can you said to us that probably the game will be a one-click game, so you just click with the left mouse button. Do you already have a decision there, yes, how the interface will look like? So it will be a one-click, so just the left mouse button?
Yes.
Yeah, and I guess one other thing that may be a little different about the interface is that we're not afraid to make it look a little bit more console-like. We really do have the interface quite in evidence in the game and not trying to fade it all completely into the background. And we just think that that's a good way to go. I think people will, within a few minutes of playing the game, find it completely natural and overall find it a lot more enjoyable than if we try and keep it all hidden at all times.
Okay, so wouldn't it be too easy if I just have to click left on everything?
No, it'll be wonderful.
When we look at the first screenshots we saw from the early demo versions, they look quite drawn to me and also to some of our readers. Are they pre-rendered? Are they hand-drawn? Or is it a mixture? Can you tell us anything about the process?
Well, by the standards that are applied in most adventure games in Germany, they have a slightly painterly look, which is on purpose, but they derive from 3D models.
So they are fully 3D rendered?
Yes.
Hal and Noah, thanks very much for coming, and we're looking forward to your game. Anything you want to say to our readers or something?
Well, I hope you enjoy the game, and what we always used to say is we hope you enjoy playing it at least as much as we've enjoyed making it.
We're not finished yet.
No, we're not. When we do get finished, though, please play the game.
So, thanks a lot.
In der nächsten Folge setzen wir unser DTP-Special mit Martin Ganteföhr fort, der uns erklärt, warum selbst Kritiker von The Moment of Silence an seinem neuen Spiel Overclocked nicht mehr vorbeikommen. Jamil Kemal von Lexis Numerik spielt für uns außerdem exklusiv das ungewöhnliche Adventure Experience 112 an. Des Weiteren zeigen wir euch das Adventure-Wort zum Sonntag und mit welchen Kamikaze-Methoden sich Marco und Basti auf die Präsentation von Tim Schafer einschleichen wollen. Ihr dürft also gespannt bleiben. In der letzten Folge unseres GC Video Features haben wir euch die Projekte So Blonde und Mata Hari präsentiert. Diesmal setzen wir die Berichterstattung gleich mit einem weiteren DTP-Produkt fort. Overclocked ist bereits seit einigen Tagen im Handel. Wir sprachen mit Designer Martin Ganteföhr, warum Adventure-Spieler einen Blick in die ungewöhnliche Geschichte riskieren sollten. Gleich im Anschluss präsentiert uns Jamil Kemal vom französischen Publisher Lexis Numérique das ungewöhnliche Adventure Experience 112. Gute Unterhaltung!